Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for jumping in my channel yet again. And yet again, I have to talk about a topic that is not a fun topic to talk about. It is a very difficult topic to discuss, and it is the topic of contempt. Contempt of men. Contempt of men from other men, the contempt of men from women, of governments, religions, organizations, financial, conglomerates, banks, the stock exchange. Like these numbers that come out that say that, oh, we're not in replacement numbers for our population. Everybody go have babies right now. Like someone has to tell you how to live your life. It's this weird, realization that you're not exactly sharing this world with people. You're sharing it with like I call it the precursor to artificial intelligence. Like people who are born for the sake of being a statistic and having fulfilled that role, they don't really deviate from it too much. They're a living robot, if you will, right? Like the idea of thinking for yourself, the idea of, imagination and creativity, all of that, gets sidelined for the voting mass, the mass of voters that are to be enabled. So, before I jump into this topic, I want you to all take a look at Canada and laugh collectively. Us Canadians are dealing with a government that has failed its people. And to compensate for this, they've orchestrated. Basically, they made this up, right? It's not real. I don't fucking buy it for a second. So the flight attendants are calling, for a strike. They say their wage isn't livable, this and that. The I need more money in this kind of economy type of situation. Now, with that being said, all the flights, I think something like whatever, it's just every major airport. I don't even want to get into it because of like, that world is behind me now, and like most likely because I have the luxury of driving to America. I could just take a plane in America. Oh, dude. But for real though, so on paper, like when they're reporting on this, it is for the justice of these flight attendants. They need to be paid, a living salary. They need to be given a chance. But the actual truth to the matter is that Canada can't handle any more immigrants. Its crime rate is insane. The amount of drugs that are being smuggled in and out. America is complaining. A lot of people don't want to talk about this, but the reason why we're having such huge, like really super high tariffs isn't just because Canada recognized Palestine as a state. Also, Australia jumped in and decided, hey, you know what? That hot girl, because Australian girls are hot, like that hot girl that doesn't like me, you know what? I'm going to get back at her. Guess what? Palestine, that, pro women sexual assaulting state, I'm going to recognize it. Then they say, oh, but you can't have Hamas voting or like, in your elections or anything like that. And I'm just like, they're just so dumb and naive. Like, oh, come on, dude. Like, the entire population has been indoctrinated by these people. They went out of their way to like make what is it, Disney characters and Looney Tunes, and like, yo, you gotta kill these Israelis. Dress it up as Mickey Mouse or some bunny. Like, it's so pathetic. But like, when you think about it, because like they're kids, they don't know any better, and then they get older and stuff, and you want to pretend like that can go away. A magic eraser away. Oh my goodness. And that's why Canada's getting such harsh tariffs. The harsh reality of it is that, Canada isn't as strong or as capable as it thinks it is. And it's almost dire reliance on America has surfaced this uncomfortable truth that without America to police and secure its borders, like it doesn't have the capability of doing it itself. So this Air Canada strike, Air Canada being, our major airport company in Canada, is more of a ruse. It's just to keep the constant wave of these, refugees, immigrants, whatever. The thing that they tend to do the most is they'll apply for something like temporary or whatever travel visa and stuff, and then they overstay their visa, and then whatever. Like the other back in the day, it was like the student visa thing, but then they started finding out like all these people were like getting scammed and stuff, and then they realized like the student visas, like the students that stay here, realize like yeah, your degree's worth less than nothing, because it's like at least other people have like a high school diploma from here or Europe or wherever, right? Like even like China, like East Asia, Australia, like all those places would, would like be considered okay for getting that. They come in here and none of their credentials matter, and they just get like screwed over twice. And they live the exact same life they did back in their country because like the landlords, the slum landlords, that treat them like they did back in Punjab, where they got look at 50 people in one house or some shit like that. And some guy's like living rich. He has like actual servants, like literal slaves. That's their way of life. That's their world. And then they come over here, and it's like, they can get their parents' money to cop out VIP, but they're isolated to the max, to the nth degree. But here we go. Like I go on my tirades and my off isms, but we gotta talk about the very, very important elephant in the room, and that is the contempt of men, of mankind, of boys, males, the Y chromosome. So what I'm getting at is not everybody can be men, obviously. But what I mean by that is that there's guys who are born with the Y chromosome, but they just don't have it. Like they're too lazy, weak, uh, privileged, or both. It's a never-ending struggle to identify what went wrong with them, because we can be doing this all day, right? Like you can do that and then try to find out what happened with the homeless people, what happened with like war veterans, what happened with like foster children, or all these different types of groups of people that inevitably will have grievances, but ultimately have an obvious like condition as to why they suffer from their issues and stuff. And yeah, over in the UK. So I made this video previously about this young 13-year-old girl violating a bylaw. And I checked back into it, and apparently, yeah, that's all that it was, right? And I want to be wrong about this. I want to be like, okay, maybe I jumped the gun and they have reason to get physical with her, like she assaulted the people in the store, like she threw something at them, or like she vandalized the McDonald's, like she broke the chair or something like that, you know what I mean, like something where it would even then, like 13-year-old girl, like you just like yell at her or something like that, or just get her parents like then and there. Don't even put her in the car, just be like, okay, stand with her, wait until the parents come, and then like whatever, do their paperwork thing, you write the ticket. But yeah, the video, they grab her by her hands, her wrists, holding her very, very, tightly. And I have to comment on this previous video I made, because I have a funny feeling that people are watching my videos and they get they get off on how how badly they can treat their own citizens. I'm like, I don't live in the UK. I don't see how this would work, but from what I could surmise, right? Like, it's this video that comes out. Everyone's talking about it. Asmongold, everybody's talking about it. Everybody's talking about it. So it's these two uh they're not attractive, dude. They're like they look like high school kids or high school girls or whatever. And like this is their idea of attraction, right? And maybe because it's like my femininity, like I know a thing or two about makeup and stuff. Like I don't necessarily wear it. Like I've worn it twice. I think I've commented like one time I had to go to court, and this other time I had to go to this concert, DJ Tiesto. But he makes new music now. His new music is like totally different. I don't associate. I don't want to associate with that kind of shit. It's just like weird. But like, okay, whatever. Anyways, those are only two times I've worn makeup. So makeup has this like kind of matte finish to it. It's very distinct. You could like automatically tell, like if you've been around it, that is like you can automatically tell when a girl's wearing it. So you see these two undercover female police officers. What the fuck? And like one of them has like the one who's like talking has like unmistakably large amount of it on her face. And I'm like thinking to myself, well, you're going jogging, right? Like I know you're trying to appear attractive get to entice males to talk to you, but like what is the fucking logic in that? Like you know you clog your fucking pores and shit. Dumbass. Whatever. Anyways, and guess what they're doing? No, they're not solving the grooming gang problem or preventing migrants from attacking children or women or families or anybody from that in general. Like none of the above. No. See, these mean guys, right? These British guys, these males, these moids. That's the word that the incels call with females foids. I'm gonna call males moids. These moids. And then like, um, yeah, you gotta prevent them from the unruly behavior, the catcalling, the harassment. You know, these girls are trying to jog. They didn't want to be like bothered, and if someone's honking their horn at them, you know. hmm Yep, that's what they're spending. They're wasting. Sorry, they're not spending their money. They're wasting it on it, and you can kind of tell, like when you're watching this, like video thingy, whatever. You can kind of tell with those two females, like this kind of like they have this guilty grin on them, like they know what they're doing and how like facetious their beliefs are, and like just like the boiling point, the turmoil that is on the edge of what's about to happen in the UK with like the whole racism and the whole re-immigration, survey and all that stuff. It's a contempt for the people. Like the government is basically saying, look, I want to stay in power. I don't give a fuck about you or your child's safety and well-being or the safety and well-being of women at large. We're going to prosecute or just like so much as just like bother people because nobody likes to fucking talk to the police for absolutely no fucking reason. You know what I mean? Like you could have been right honking your horn for something a completely other different reason, and they would have been like, "Hey, you're trying to catcall these women. You're trying to harass these women." The UK has fallen, dude. It is a lost cause. Like even if you can get all the illegal immigrants out, all the terrorists out, all the criminals out, get rid of the knife crime. What else? What else? Get rid of the corruption and oh my god, it's like a laundry list. It's like I'm fucking washing an entire fucking like season's worth of goddamn fucking bullshit over here. Oh my god, dude. What else is next? I gotta fucking space travel. Oh my god, the royal family. Like there's so many layers to this. There's so many layers to this. It's a lost cause. The United Kingdom is a lost cause. Like think about it like this, right? Back in the day when they needed help to fight in World War II, right? Obviously, back at those times, You know, it was a bad thing because they would have been assimilated, and then, you know, the enemy wasn't going to be coming at you initially, but you never know. They would have came at you eventually, right? Like, you don't do what they want you to do. Give up the Jews, you know? Speaking of the Jews, I'll get into that a little bit later, right? But this little contempt is like, you know, it's against the people. Like, the people are very much at odds with the government, and the fact that the people haven't revolted, especially after that ad, says everything you need to know about the people the men living in the United Kingdom. They're just not there. Like, you literally have to throw your life away, and even then, it's not going to make a difference. It's a lost cause, like I said, right? And for it to happen in the first place, like, men who could have stood up and said something or did something ultimately did nothing and allowed this to happen ad nauseum. And we all know why. It's because the simp nature of the men in the UK is like fucking off the charts. Like, as strange as it seems to us in North America and like maybe other places, Australia, South America, East Asia, like, that kind of shit is just like such a waste of police power, right? Like, you've heard of like stupid things that, you know, the police force have done in the past. You know, things that are silly, things that are like whatever. But they ultimately serve the purpose. This, like, considering the circumstances in the UK, you're gonna go and do this and basically just poke fun at the people. Like, you hate the people because the people don't want to keep you in power, and your time is coming to an end. But now we gotta get into it. We gotta get into the whole Jewish thing. Yeah, I brought this thing up. So I also commented on in my last video that Drake's bodyguard got knifed in the the United Kingdom, and now Drake's doing some weird ass shit. I've never heard of this before. So imagine you hate someone so much you want to, you know, find out about their kids and stuff. Well, mankind is just, you know, falling apart here and there. I'll talk about that more in another video. I guess I ran out of time, but anyways, take it easy and God save. Well, forget it. UK's lost. Lost cause, man. Lost cause.